Social media, it's a big topic, it's a huge topic, and most people, you might be in the situation yourself where people are saying to you social media is negative, you're on social media too long, you shouldn't be on it for all these different types of reasons. But we're here in this video and we're going to share with you the good things about social media and how to use it as a really good platform, and also share with you the negative of it and how to overcome the negative impact when it comes to social media.
Social media is a very powerful tool to have in your toolbox, and it's something that we believe that can be used and utilised really well from an educational point of view. From, you know, students are constantly told time and time again that social media is a negative thing. It can be, and this is where you need the learning, and this is what we're trying to cover today, so that you can understand that, you know, you can use this really positively. It can be negative, but you know, there is a huge element of positivity in using social media and learning and development. This week we're talking social media and the power of it, and the power of living your own story, which is something that I suppose we all are quite used to, looking at everyone else's story bar our own, and really applying what we enjoy doing and what we really want to do as an individual to our lives. Instead, we kind of make comparisons and look into what everyone else around us is doing.
Social media can really work for you or it can work against you. It's just a matter of you deciding before you get on, what are you actually doing when you get on social media? Are you just going on to relax and look at videos and wander around, or have you a purpose for going on? Do you want to learn something on social media? Is there a particular video? Is there something that you want to, you know, you can apply to your life, rather than going on there and looking at everybody else's life and then kind of getting depressed and down and, you know, looking at things going, oh, my life is so bad compared to all these other people that are going on social media. So it's important to know what you're going on there for as well, and at least that way then you have a clear intention and goal of what you're doing. Do you ever find yourself getting down or depressed, feeling really, you know, not good about yourself? You go onto your friend's Facebook page or Instagram or whatever social media channel you're using, where you just don't feel good about you because you're comparing yourself to everyone else around you, where really, if you look at it, a lot of it is false and fake photos, videos. You know, some people are really trying to paint pictures that they're in a great place, in a great position, but really a lot of it is false and fake, and then that actually affects your emotional well-being and your mental well-being. You know, sometimes people find themselves in that situation, and I suppose that's something that we would like to touch on here when it comes to the social media aspects.
Yeah, there's an addictive nature to social media, and it's been proven scientifically, but there's been a lot of controversy around it over the last couple of years. Facebook in particular, where Mark Zuckerberg being brought before Congress to answer a certain amount of questions and so on and so forth. You can research most of this yourself on YouTube or any of the media sites. You know, as we said before, there's power in media, there's power in this social media aspect of things and being able to learn and educate yourself. But there's also the negative side that Declan has just mentioned there. And the problem is with this thing is that they have hired people called attention engineers. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently it is. And the whole concept behind it is to be able to draw your attention, market that then information so that they can keep your data, and then they can process it and forward it on. So what happens is Facebook in itself and Instagrams and all these things are almost a machine, and what it does is it pulls in all that information that it's correlated from you, and then it fires it out and it starts to dictate your news feed. They've compared it to Las Vegas and such places that you keep pulling the slot machine, and eventually after a while you win. And the problem with that is if you're constantly going around with that slot machine, that's a burden on your life, that's a weight. and we can't be doing that, and it's so dangerous to us in terms of our health and how we perceive things, because we're looking for that constant dopamine hit. Now the dangers is with it, and this has again been proven, that the dopamine hit you get from that whole search and seek. There's been a fantastic study done in Stanford by Robert Sapolsky, I think his name is, and he was the one who brought this research to the forefront. What it is that every time you're looking at your phone and you look down at your phone and you go, maybe I have a text, or maybe I don't have a text, maybe they answered me, maybe they didn't answer me. But the problem is then with that is it fragments your attention, and your attention that you've had throughout the day or throughout that moment of learning or whatever it was you were doing has now been fragmented, and it takes anything up to 23 minutes to bring you back, again scientifically proven, back to focusing in on a topic that you were already talking about.
So it's just to look at that for yourself. Do you find you're picking up your phone every minute, few minutes, to see if you've got a text message, to see if you've got a like, to see if you've got someone following you? If you're finding yourself doing that, it's just a matter of realising that's a hit you're looking for. So it's just acknowledging and being aware of this, and that's kind of one of the reasons and the purposes behind shooting this video here for you is to bring to your awareness of what's actually going on out there. And with Jason, sharing with you there about these facts that are going on out there, that it's the goal of all these social media, companies to grab your attention, pull your information, get your data, so they can target you in specific ways that you like to buy or to learn, or whatever it is that gives you that dopamine hit. So it's important just to have that awareness around you when all this is going on, and to just see, is that actually happening you? If you do find yourself in a situation where you're on social media way too long, or you feel that when you're on social media you get kind of depressed, or you get down, or you get kind of lost, one thing I noticed, because definitely that used to be me and sometimes is still me, but what I try and do now is I try and allocate time from when I'm going to go on social media. So instead of just jumping on social media and looking at this and looking at that, what I do is I go, okay, Dick, I have this internal dialogue with myself, and I go, okay, right, I'm going to time block maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe 1 hour where I'm on social media. I'm doing whatever I need to do on social media. But what I do is this: I put on what's called my ding dong, which everybody has on them, which is a timer on your phone. So what I do is I flick up my phone and I put it on for, let's say it's a 20-minute slot. So I put 20 minutes on my timer. I go on social media, or it might be my emails, whatever it might be, and I specifically zone in and focus in on what it is I'm there for. So it could be just time where I'm relaxing, looking at posts, looking at what's going on. But I don't have to think about time now, or time doesn't just disappear. I know when my ding dong goes off, I've got to actually remove myself from social media, or take myself off social media, or move on to my next task. So that's just a tip that I have here for you. If you find yourself that you're in that situation where you feel like time is disappearing, or you feel like you're getting down, get on, have a specific goal while you're on there, put on a timer, and then when that goes off, either finish up or put it on for another 10 minutes, but have a time, have a goal, and a specific reason why you're on there. So one thing we'd love to share with you as well when it comes to social media is you gotta cut out the negativity of people who might be directing stuff negatively at you, and that all comes back to your self-worth and valuing yourself as a person. And the best way to do that is to cut these people out of your social media life if you possibly can, and that could be just maybe deleting their account, block them. Do it. It really, really does have massive benefits for you, instead of feeding it. Because if you keep feeding that, you're going to keep feeding the negativity coming at you. And if you're the one who's directing negativity at people, ask yourself why. Why are you doing that? Is there something going on for you and you're projecting and you're putting negativity out to people on social media? It could be a case where you need to look at that for yourself and realise that you may be the person who's blasting this negativity out to people. If it's not you and it's coming back at you, it's time to look at that and delete it.
Yeah, I think if you look at yourself right now, or as a clean blank, I suppose a clean slate or blank sheet, look at yourself as perfectly fine, and that's where you start. That's your starting point. The reason you give value to anything is because it's either worse or better, so you create that comparison automatically, and that's where the value starts. So if you take, for example, like the old mobile phone, the big brick of a phone with the big aerial and the whole lot, something that could nearly be used as a weapon to throw at somebody else. If you look at that and you look at it and compare it to the modern smartphone, there's a huge comparison obviously to be made between the two. If you look at the old horse and cart, and now you know it was a fantastic and phenomenal form of transport, and now you look at the motor car, you look at the vehicles that are there in existence today and our mode of transport. So we constantly have to mark our value on something and mark our comparison, and unfortunately it's something we'll do regardless. So like Declan said there, it's important with regards value, but it's also important to be able to say, well, I value myself, and to start looking at yourself and to go back and say, you know what, if somebody is in my space or somebody is doing something that I feel that's negative towards me, then absolutely you can press that block button and delete. It's quite easy to do it.
So we're back in from the sunshine, and we're here and we're going to recap what we just spoke about. And there's many little tips, tools and techniques that we've shared with you there, and hopefully you'll be able to apply some of these after the video and continue them on in your life when it comes to social media. And think about the time blocking, thinking about that space where you're going to go on, you're being specific and intentional with your time when you go on social media, so you're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours lost in cyberspace. So it's important to use your ding dong, your time blocker, and be specific about what you're going online for.
Yeah, so it's really important that you take on board what Declan just said there. I think it's really powerful. I think it's going to be a tool that you can really utilise yourself. Take back control. Don't let social media control you. Don't get your attention fragmented, and think of those attention engineers, what they said. And think again, going back to that dopamine hit and utilising it. I mean, think about it. It should be almost considered illegal when you think about the aspects of what they're doing and what has happened to us in terms of an addictive substance almost. I mean, at the end of the day, it's giving you a far greater hit, or almost equal hit, to the comparison was made actually when we were studying on it, is cocaine. So that 400% dopamine hit, imagine it rises 400%, and it's equivalent to that someone taking drugs. So it's something you need to really look at, and if you're drawn into that and that addiction is there, it's very difficult to remove yourself from it. But like we said, there's so many powerful things out of social media. Social media can be so useful for you, for connecting with others, connecting family members. Do something positive with it. Show some older family members how to use social media. Let them connect. Let them start connecting with family around the world. Bring them into the new generation and the way the world is turning. And right now, technology, that's the way it's going. We all have to jump on board, but let's do it right.
And the thing about it is, a lot of the older generation, and if you are watching this, we're not knocking it, we're part of the older generation, but it's like, try and to see from their perspective as well, this could be all completely new to them, and they could be looking at it really negatively, that you're completely disconnecting yourself from the world, and kind of we are in a way. And if you can be aware that you try and remove yourself every so often from that virtual world and get out and speak to people, connect with people, because that's a great way in making really good positive connections. And you can also do that with social media, making really good positive connections with people. And if you're getting to know new people online, just remember, take your time getting to know the person. Don't trust everything that's been said in the first connection, the first week, 2-3 weeks. Take time to build and nurture those relationships. It's very, very important. And doing that, you'll start building great relationships and trust in an online community, and set up your own, even online study groups. Set up something that is positive. You bring the positivity to social media rather than, bringing any negative, sayings or vibes or whatever might be going on. You be the catalyst in your group or in your network to bring positivity into the social media virtual world.
So live your life, not somebody else's show reel. Live yours. It's so important. You are in control, and make sure you always take a step back. Remind yourself, this is my life and I'm going to live it, and I'm going to be the best that I can be.
Brilliant. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll be able to apply some of the tools and techniques that we shared with you here in this.
Thank you very much for listening again.